Okay, let's jump into this deep dive. We've got quite a stack of sources here, all really tackling that big challenge, picking the right tools to, really try and dominate the search engine rankings in 2025.
Yeah, it absolutely feels like navigating a maze out there right now, doesn't it?
Yeah,
And having the right guide, the right tool, it just makes all the difference.
totally. And the material you shared, it really zeroes in on a specific head-to-head that's super relevant right now. Surfer SEO versus Phrase, looking at where they stand this year.
And choosing the right tool is definitely crucial. The source we're pulling from, it sets the stage perfectly. It describes climbing the rankings in 2025 as this kind of high-stakes chess match.
A chess match. Okay, let's unpack that. Why does the source call it that? Is it because the algorithms are just constantly shifting?
That's a huge part of it. And fierce competition, plus rankings don't just rely on, the old keyword stuffing anymore.
Right, we're talking content relevance, site speed, is it mobile friendly, trustworthiness?
Exactly. And the source layers on things like NLP, natural language processing, machine learning, core web vitals, voice search.
Oh yeah, and those zero-click results too, where people get answers right on Google.
It's a lot. It's a lot to keep track of.
It really is. And these tools, Surfer SEO and Phrase, they promise to be, well, powerful allies in that complex game.
Mm-hmm.
So our mission here in this deep dive is really to slice through their features, their strengths, weaknesses, but based only on the insights from this material we have,
Right. Just what the source says.
to help you figure out which one might align best with your specific goals.
Yep. We'll stick strictly to what this comparison reveals about each one.
Okay, so let's start right at the beginning, figuring out what to write. Getting that initial outline or brief sorted. How do these tools help there, according to the source?
Well, the material highlights that Surfer SEO uses something called an outline builder, and it's intensely focused on the search engine results page itself.
Okay, so it's basically looking at what's already ranking right at the very top.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls out the headings, the subtopics. It even suggests word counts based purely on those top performers.
Ah, okay.
And what's great about this, the source says, is it's fast. And it grounds your outline purely in what's already proven to work on that results page.
But the trade-off then, as the source notes, is that it only sticks to the series, right? It might miss questions or, related topics people are talking about elsewhere.
That's the potential gap. And that's where Phrase takes a slightly different approach. It's content briefs. They're built by pulling info from a wider range of places.
Wider how? Like, not just Google.
Yeah, not just Google, but platforms like Quora, Reddit, the people also ask boxes you see.
Oh, interesting. So that sounds like it gives you a broader, maybe more user-centric view of the topic before you even start writing.
It does. The source points out this is fantastic for getting that rich, user-driven insight and for building out a brief pretty quickly. But it's maybe less focused on the really detailed structural or like metric-based specifics compared to Surfer's direct SRP analysis for building outlines.
Gotcha. So looking at the source's perspective, just on this stage, content research and briefs, who comes out ahead, or is it mixed?
The source actually calls it a tie here. It gives Phrase the nod for the breadth of its research, looking beyond just the search page.
Okay.
But Surfer SEO is preferred for its precision, really drilling down into exactly what's ranking on the SRP. So it kind of depends on what kind of starting point you need.
Right, breadth versus SRP precision. Makes sense. Okay, so you've got your roadmap, your brief. Now, how do the actual editors within these tools help you write and, crucially, optimize the content?
Right, the editing part. So when we look at Surfer SEO's content editor, the source really emphasizes its real-time feedback system. It boils it down to a score, 0 to 100.
A score, okay. That sounds pretty powerful. What's it based on?
Well, it's comparing your draft to those top-ranking pages again, using data points like keyword usage frequency, the overall length structure.
So it gives you targets, like use this keyword 5 times.
Exactly. The source mentions it gives you these specific data-backed targets, like needing to use a particular term X number of times. It's very prescriptive.
So it's all about these, let's say, scientific, data-driven tweaks to match what's winning. That's clearly its strength.
Mm-hmm.
But the source does add, even with that guidance, it still requires you to do the actual hands-on editing work, right? It doesn't write it for you.
Oh, definitely not. You're still the writer. Now, Phrase's content editor, in contrast, it focuses more on ensuring you've covered all the necessary topics based on that initial brief you built.
Ah, okay. So it's less about hitting exact keyword counts and more about, did I remember to talk about X, Y, and Z?
Precisely. The source highlights its strength there as being quick and easy to use. It gives you a fast check on comprehensive topic coverage.
But what's the downside?
Well, the source notes it's lighter on that granular, detailed optimization guidance that Surfer provides. Less about the nitty-gritty numbers.
Okay. And the verdict from the source on the content editors, then? Is it another split?
It's another tie. Surfer gets the credit for its precision in optimization, really fine-tuning based on SRP data.
Right.
While Frase is noted for its ease of use and that focus on quick topic coverage, they're kind of solving slightly different problems in the editing phase.
Yeah. Optimizing versus ensuring completeness.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, AI content generation. This is such a huge topic right now. How do these platforms stack up there based on the material?
Okay, yeah. AI Surfer has something called Surfy AI, and the source describes it as relatively basic. It's capable of generating maybe an intro or some short paragraphs.
Right, and the source mentioned it integrates with Jasper for more advanced stuff, but even then, the number of AI articles you can generate seems limited, like 10 a month on their mid-tier plan.
Exactly, 10 a month, and the output often needs significant editing or rework.
So its strength, according to the source, is maybe giving you a decent starting point, a little boost.
Yeah, maybe a starting point. But the weaknesses are that it's fairly basic on its own, and it can get pricey or limited if you need to generate a lot of content.
Okay. How does Frase approach AI writing? It has its AI writer, right?
It does. And what's particularly fascinating here, based on the source, is the potential for scale.
Scale, how so?
Well, the source reveals that with their $35 a month SEO add-on, you can actually get unlimited AI words.
Unlimited. Whoa. Okay, that's a big deal for content volume.
Huge deal. The source even gives an example of someone generating like a 700-word draft in just minutes using Phrase's AI.
Wow. So its clear strength is being scalable and potentially very budget-friendly if you need to create a lot of content.
Absolutely. That's the big draw.
Yeah.
The weakness noted is, the output might still need refinement, some human touch, but you're starting with a full draft, not just snippets.
Okay, so when it comes to the AI generation capabilities, where does the source land? Seems pretty clear.
Yeah, Frase wins this round quite decisively in the source's comparison, specifically because of the value and the scalability offered by that unlimited AI words add-on. It's hard to beat unlimited.
Definitely hard to beat unlimited. Okay, let's rewind a bit. Before you even start drafting or outlining, you need to find the right keywords. What does the material say about their keyword research features?
Right, keywords. Diving into what was shared, Surfer SEO offers that core keyword data search volume, difficulty estimates, related terms, and it's enhanced because it integrates with SEMrush.
Okay, SEMrush integration is helpful.
Yeah, and it pulls data directly from Google APIs. The source calls this a reliable foundation for keyword research.
Reliable foundation. Sounds like a key strength. Is there a weakness mentioned there?
The source does note that it lacks more advanced features like keyword clustering, grouping keywords together thematically.
Ah, okay. And Phrase's approach to keywords, is it a full research tool?
It's a bit different. Frase provides more basic keyword data, and you get the volume and SRP details mainly through that same $35 add-on I talked about.
Right, the add-on again.
Yeah, and it's described more as a feature within the brief building process, rather than a standalone tool you'd use for broad keyword exploration across your whole niche.
So it helps you find keywords specifically relevant to the piece of content you're planning, but maybe not for discovering entirely new keyword opportunities.
That's a good way to put it. Its strength is linking keywords directly to your content plans, but the scope is narrower compared to, say, Surfer or a dedicated keyword tool.
So based on the source's comparison, who has the edge in keyword research depth?
Surfer SEO leads here, according to the source, just for its more foundational keyword research capabilities and drawing on that reliable API data.
Okay. Now, understanding the search engine results page itself, the SERP, that's fundamental to SEO. How deeply do these tools let you analyze what's going on there?
Surfer SEO's SRP Analyzer. This is highlighted by the source as being incredibly detailed, like really deep.
Oh.
It can apparently dissect over 500 different factors for the top ranking pages. Things like word count, yes, but also backlinks pointing to those pages, site speed metrics.
Wow, 500 factors. That is granular. And the source said it uses correlation analysis to set benchmarks for your own content.
That's right. It tries to figure out which factors correlate with higher rankings for that specific keyword. That deep technical detail is definitely its strength.
Is there a downside to all that data?
Well, the source does mention that with so much information packed in, the interface can feel a bit dense, maybe a little overwhelming at first.
Makes sense. Information overload potential. What about Phrase's SRP analysis then? Does it go that deep?
No, according to the material, Phrase's SRP analysis is primarily focused on identifying topics and questions to include in the content briefs. It's more about content angles.
Okay.
It doesn't really delve into those granular metrics like backlink counts or technical site factors that Surfer looks at.
So it's fast and topic focused for briefing, but stays more at the surface level compared to Surfer's deep technical dive?
Precisely. For that raw analysis power and technical depth on the SRP, the source clearly states Surfer SEO is the winner in this area.
Okay, that's clear. Now, moving beyond just creating new content, how do these tools help you evaluate and improve pages you already have published, or even look at the technical SEO side of your site?
Yeah, this is an area where the source highlights a pretty significant difference between the two. Surfer SEO actually has a dedicated audit tool.
An audit tool? What's that designed for?
It's specifically designed to evaluate your live published pages.
And what kind of insights does that audit give you? What does it tell you to fix?
It offers suggestions for fixes covering things like on-page SEO elements, page speed issues, even backlink opportunities or problems. And it integrates data from tools like Google Search Console and Page Speed Insights.
Wow, okay. That sounds incredibly practical for actually improving content that's already out there, not just creating new stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That ability to provide practical upgrades for live pages is noted as a clear strength. And interestingly, the source doesn't list any significant weaknesses for this specific feature in Surfer.
Okay. And what about Phrase in this category? Does it have an audit feature?
No. The source explicitly states that Phrase skips auditing entirely. It doesn't offer that functionality.
Right. So, based purely on this comparison, Surfer SEO takes the content audit round by default, really.
Seems so.
And how about looking at broader technical SEO factors beyond just one page?
Again, based on the material we have, Surfer assesses things like overall page speed trends, mobile usability across pages, and backlink profiles using real-time data.
So its strength there is that wider technical reach, looking at various site health factors that influence SEO.
That's what the source indicates. Its technical scope is broader.
Minimal weaknesses noted for Surfer in this technical area in the source.
Correct. And Phrase, the source confirms again, it really stays focused purely on the content creation and optimization side of things, not these broader technical side aspects.
So it seems pretty clear from the source material that if you need to dive into existing content performance or technical SEO factors, Surfer is positioned as the stronger tool.
That's certainly the picture the source paints in these specific sections, yeah.
Interesting. The material also gives us a little peek under the hood, at the technology that powers each of these tools. What did you find there? What's driving them?
Yeah, I touched on that. We learned that Surfer SEO relies heavily on natural language processing, NLP, to really understand the context and meaning behind keywords, not just the words themselves.
Okay, understanding context.
Right. And then machine learning to try and connect various on-page factors to actual ranking potential. And of course, it's core content score, which blends a bunch of variables and gets refreshed often.
And Phrase's underlying tech, what's powering its features?
Phrase primarily utilizes GPT models. That's the tech behind things like ChatGPT for its AI writing capabilities, generating that human-like text.
Right, for the AI writer.
And it also uses topic clustering technology. That helps it group related concepts together to ensure you get comprehensive subject coverage in its briefs and the editor checks.
So the source actually calls this tech section a tie, but it feels like a tie because they excel in different types of tech, doesn't it?
That's exactly how I read it too. Surfer's tech is geared towards optimization analysis and scoring.
Well, Phrase's tech is more about content creation and semantic organization.
Exactly. It really highlights the core purpose driving each platform's engine, as revealed by the source.
Okay, now for the part that often weighs heavily on these kinds of decisions. Pricing. What did the source tell us about the cost comparison? How do they stack up financially?
The budget question. Looking at the entry-level plans, the source shows a pretty stark difference. Phrase starts significantly cheaper. It's like $15 a month for managing 7 documents.
$15. Okay, that's very accessible. And Surfer's entry point?
Surfer starts at $79 a month, which the source notes works out to $948 if you pay annually. And that tier allows for 360 articles per year.
Wow, okay, $15 versus $79 a month is a huge gap, especially for solo users or, small projects. How about the mid-tier offerings?
Phrase is still less expensive there. It's $45 a month for 30 documents. Surfer's comparable tier is $175 a month or $2,100 annually, allowing for 1,200 articles.
still a big difference. And the advanced or highest tiers.
Frase goes up to $115 a month for unlimited documents. Surfer's top listed tier is $299 a month. That's $3,588 a year. And that level includes API access, which is important for some users.
Right, API access can be key for integrations. What about those add-ons we mentioned? How do they factor into the cost?
Good point. Surfer sells additional AI credits if you burn through the ones included in your plan.
Okay.
And Frase has that really crucial $35 a month SEO add-on. That's the key to unlocking the unlimited AI words and also getting access to more detailed keyword and SRP data within Frase.
So that $35 is pretty essential for getting the most out of Frase, it sounds like.
It seems that way from the source description, yeah. Especially for the AI and deeper data.
So how does the source ultimately sum up this pricing face-off? Is Frase just cheaper?
It's interesting. The source concludes it's an overall tie on pricing, which might sound surprising given those initial numbers.
Yeah, how did they get to a tie?
They emphasize that Frase clearly has the advantage for cost-sensitive users, especially individuals starting out at that $15 level, and for anyone needing high-volume AI content via that add-on. It's the budget and volume play.
Okay.
But Surfer, while definitely more expensive, is positioned for users who need its advanced tools, the deep SRP analysis, the audit features, and maybe are operating at a larger scale or agency level where the cost is justified by the depth.
So value depends on need.
Exactly. They even make a specific note for teams. Apparently, Phrase's team plan plus the add-on comes in slightly cheaper than Surfer's mid-tier plan, potentially offering better value for a team depending on exactly how they use it.
Yeah. So the source really suggests pricing isn't just about the sticker price, but the value you get for your specific use case and scale.
Precisely. Who wins on price really depends on your budget and your volume requirements, according to this analysis.
That makes sense. Okay, so let's say your content is live. How do these tools help you track how it's actually doing? What kind of analytics and reporting are available?
Right, post-publishing. Surfer SEO offers that real-time content score we talked about earlier, which gives you that quick measure of optimization quality, 0 to 100.
Okay, the score. But does it go deeper? Does it track performance over time?
Yes, and it provides those detailed audit reports we discussed. Those look at on-page factors, speed, backlinks, keyword usage, specifically for published pages, helping you identify areas for improvement.
So the audit is also part of its reporting.
It seems to function that way, yeah.
Yeah.
The source actually calls out Surfer's analytics overall as a standout feature, really designed for fine-tuning content after publication and driving future decisions based on performance data.
Okay, standout is strong language. Team dashboards, too, on higher plans.
Yes, mentioned for enterprise plans. And Phrase's reporting capabilities. How do they compare? Frase offers more of a checklist-style topic score. It focuses on whether you covered the key topics and included relevant questions from the brief.
So focused on content completeness again.
Seems so, plus some basic in-platform tracking. But the source's take is pretty clear. It lacks the depth and the advanced reporting features needed for detailed post-publishing analysis and performance tracking.
So it's more focused on guiding creation than analyzing results.
That's the impression the source gives. So for comprehensive analytics and reporting on how your content is actually performing out there, the source clearly states Surfer SEO is the winner.
Okay. One last area. Learning the tool. Jumping into something new always has a learning curve. What kind of resources do Surfer and Frase offer to help users get up to speed?
Good question. Surfer SEO provides what sounds like an extensive knowledge base, lots of articles and guides.
Standard stuff. Anything else?
Yeah, also an active community forum, which the source highlights specifically for peer-to-peer learning, asking questions of other users. And they apparently run regular webinars, too.
That community aspect sounds potentially valuable, especially if you like interacting and learning from others using the tool.
It could be. Frase also offers a solid knowledge base, according to the source, but it also highlights live demos as a key resource.
Live demos. Okay, like a walkthrough?
Yeah, and a blog that's focused on practical tips and how-tos.
So maybe less emphasis on community interaction, more on direct guidance from the company via demos and structured content.
That seems to be the difference, yes. And because of that difference in approach, the source calls this area another tie.
A tie again, how so?
It suggests Surfer is probably better if you thrive on community support and really want to do deep dives into the tool's capabilities through webinars and forums.
Okay.
Whereas Frase might be great for faster onboarding, especially if you prefer learning through live demonstrations and straightforward practical tips on their blog. Simplicity versus depth, maybe.
Yeah, different learning styles. Okay, so we've walked through all the key comparisons laid out in this source material. Let's try to synthesize it. What's the overall conclusion provided by the source? Is there a single clear winner between Surfer and Phrase?
The conclusion from the source is actually very definitive on this point. There's no single overall winner.
No winner. Okay.
Yeah. The source really emphasizes that the best tool depends entirely, completely, on your specific needs, your priorities, and maybe your budget.
Okay, so let's distill the source's final take then. Who is Surfer SEO really for, based on this comparison?
Surfer SEO is presented as the choice for users who prioritize precision and depth. People who really want to get into the weeds.
Weeds
Like granular content optimization based on lots of data points, deep SRP analysis to understand why things rank, technical SEO checks, and having robust analytics to track it all.
So it's for someone who, as the source kind of put it, is maybe obsessed with perfecting details to dominate rankings and maybe willing to handle a steeper learning curve to get that power.
That's the profile, exactly. And Phrase, who is that positioned for? Phrase is positioned as the choice for speed and creativity, especially driven by its AI content generation capabilities.
Right, the unlimited AI words.
Yeah. So it's ideal for users who need to churn out content drafts quickly, scale their content volume significantly, and perhaps do it on a tighter budget.
Making it great for maybe solo creators, small teams, or anyone where content velocity is the main goal, and that unlimited AI add-on makes it affordable.
That seems to be the core message. The source's key takeaway is really recognizing that fundamental difference in focus. Surfer, the tool for detailed analysis and meticulous optimization. Phrase, the tool built for rapid content creation and ensuring broad topic coverage.
This deep dive, drawing just on the material you shared, it's really painted a picture of two powerful allies in the SEO world, but they definitely show up with very different skill sets, almost different personalities.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Surfer comes across as that meticulous strategist, the technical expert analyzing every possible angle for optimization. Very data-focused.
While Phrase feels more like the fast-action creative partner, the assistant focused on getting content ideas generated and drafted quickly, efficiently, and affordably.
So the big question then, for you listening, is what does this all mean for your strategy?
Exactly. You need to think about the biggest challenge you are facing right now in your content efforts, especially guided by what the source material has revealed about these tools' core strength.
Is your main struggle getting that last 10% of detailed optimization just right? Or maybe tackling tricky technical SEO issues on your existing pages?
Or is your main hurdle simply generating enough new content quickly and affordably based on understanding broad user intent? Volume versus perfection, maybe?
Yeah. So here's something to really ponder as you move forward based on this comparison. If you had to choose just one tool right now, knowing its core strength as highlighted by this source,
Surfer's precision optimization and technical depth,
or Phrase's rapid creation and affordability, which of those fundamental focuses addresses the most pressing need you have in your content workflow today?
that really is the key question. This deep dive, using your source material, leaves us all with: which core strength matters most to you?